Yeah, hello guys. We are going to discuss about today's topic is white and gray matter. White and gray matter in the nervous system. Okay, nervous system as usual two types: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Okay, central nervous system, guys, just go to this nervous system. In the white and gray matter is where? What is white matter? What is gray matter? Okay, nervous system two types, which is central nervous system CNS and peripheral nervous system PNS. Central nervous system, there are two parts, which is brain and spinal cord. Spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, which is connected to the central nervous system, that is somatic nervous system, autonomous nervous system. Somatic nervous system and autonomous. Autonomous. Guys, just look into this. It is connected to the central nervous system, right? Connected to the central nervous system. How? The brain, which is analyze the signals. This is brain. Brain. Yeah, any information, sensory information go towards the brain. Brain can analyze what happened. If it is snake coming towards us, our vision sensory give that is snake. Okay, who give the sense into the brain? That is sensory nervous system. Sensory neurons give the signal into the brain. If the brain analyze, that is the snake coming towards, right? Brain can analyze what happened is there. Okay, senses going on towards the towards the brain. Okay, that is efferent nervous system or sensory nervous system. Okay, sensory nervous system, if take senses into the brain, brain can analyze, brain can give the signal into the motor nervous system. Motor nervous system. Motor nervous system. Motor nervous system, there are two types, which is voluntary or involuntary, mean somatic and autonomous. Somatic is voluntary nervous system, voluntary, and autonomous is involuntary. Involuntary. So guys, just look into this. Voluntary mean it is under control our skeletal muscle. Mean if the sensory neurons come towards the brain, like snake is coming towards, our vision senses going towards the brain. Brain analyze, that is the snake, we have to far away. Okay, the signals going to give the that organ. Organ mean going to give the motor system, motor nervous system, going to activate on somatic nervous system, which is voluntary nervous system. Our our movement is going to take place by the control under the brain. Okay, so our snake is coming, we are going far away, that is far away is under control somatic nervous system. Our heartbeat increase, in that condition, that is comes under autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system is two types, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and if heartbeat increase, if the snake is coming towards us, heartbeat increase, that is comes under sympathetic. If normal condition heartbeat is comes under parasympathetic. So this is peripheral nervous system always connected to the central nervous system. Central nervous system, if the computer, the CPU is like central nervous system, the input is sensory neurons, the output is like motor neurons. Okay, motor nervous system, like somatic nervous system and autonomous nervous system is comes under motor nervous system. There is a sensory nervous system is like our sense, taste, and listen, auditory, vision, everything is the senses related information, everything is comes under sensory nervous systems. Okay. This is overall about the human neural division, neural section is division. What is gray matter and what is white matter? Okay. Guys, just look into this. These nerves I am talking about, the neurons, they can give the signal into the brain. What are the neurons? The structure of neuron is what? The structure of neuron is what we are going to discuss now. Okay. Yes. Structure of neuron, guys, just look into this. This is axon part, axon part, axon part. This are the dendrites, dendrites, and this is cell body, cell body, cell body. This is axon, this is teledendrites, teledendrites. This is the neuron. Okay. This can be carry the signal into the, like, from the peripheral nervous system towards the central nervous system. So in this condition, there are billions of neurons are there, billions of neurons are there in the central nervous system, billions of neurons are there in the peripheral nervous system. Okay. There are different kind of neurons, guys. About the density of neurons, going to give this gray matter and white matter. How the density it can create the gray matter and white matter. Just look into this. The bundle of, there are number of neurons are there, right? The bundle of neurons, there is a bundle of axon part, bundle of cell body part. This is bundle of cell body part. They are in thick in color, that leads to the gray in matter, guys. That leads to the gray in matter, gray color. Bundle of cell body parts, it is looking like gray in color. Bundle of axon part, bundle of axon part, it is in light color, guys, light color, mean it is in white, white, it is in white. So what is gray, what is white? Did you understand? There is a billions of neurons, they are located in central nervous system, they are located in peripheral nervous system. They are not a single isolated each neuron, they are combined. There is a bundle like structure. Okay. Bundle of cell body part, we can call it is thick in color, that is gray color. Bundle of axon part, it is light in color, that is in white color. That is about gray and white matter. So where it is located, where we can observe the white matter and gray matter in the brain and spinal cord. Okay. There are a huge number of like cells are there in the brain, brain nothing but there are parts, cerebrum, okay, which is forebrain and midbrain and hindbrain. There are number of neurons are there. If come to the spinal cord also carry the information into the brain. There are billions of neurons, they can carry information towards the brain. Okay. There is a white matter and a gray matter located in the brain and as well spinal cord. Okay. We are looking to that. Okay. Yeah. Guys, before that we are going to search some find words. Okay. Yes. Bundle of axon parts, bundle of axon parts in the central nervous system, called tract. Tract. This word you have to remember, guys. And bundle of like here the bundle of axon part, right? Here bundle of cell body parts. In the like bundle of cell body parts in the central nervous system, called nucleus. Okay, yeah. Next, bundle of axon parts in the peripheral nervous system, called nerve. Bundle of cell body parts in the peripheral nervous system, called ganglia. These are the words you have to remember, guys, for exam point of view. Just remember the bundle of axon parts called tract in the central nervous system. Bundle of cell body parts called nucleus in the central nervous system. Okay, yeah. Bundle of axon parts in the peripheral nervous system called nerve. Okay, nerve. Bundle of cell body parts in the peripheral nervous system called ganglia. Okay, first one is tract, second one is like nucleus, and third one is nerve, and fourth one is ganglia. These words you have to remember, guys. Okay, these words are the most important for exam point of view. This is the neurons they are combined together to form like this names. Okay, yeah, we are going to look into the what is gray matter, what is white matter. Okay, yes, up to here clear? I hope. Are you guys clear? Okay. Yeah. Next, what is gray matter? What is white matter? What is gray matter and what is white matter? Okay. Guys, this is brain. This is midbrain, this is brain, okay, this is hindbrain, finally it is spinal cord, okay, yes. If the neurons, there is a nucleus is there, in the neuron cell body is there, and there is a axon is there, right? Cell body parts are They are in the cortex region of the brain, guys. Cortex region of the brain is cell body. Cell bodies are located in the cortex region and axons are located in the medulla region of the brain. Okay? Cell body is outer part, which is cortex. Outer part is cortex. Cortex of the brain. Brain means it is cerebrum, guys. Cerebrum. It is supported by a skeletal called cranium. Cranium. Okay? The cell bodies are, they are enter into the cortex region from the center part. Okay? Yes, this is the density of the cell bodies. The density of the cell bodies here, the density of the cell bodies are looking in the thick color, guys, looking like a thick color. That is the part we can call gray matter. Gray matter. I hope, are you clear? This is called gray matter. Okay? Yeah. And what about this cortex region? Like this is medulla region, mid part. They are always like axons are located here, right? Just look into this, guys. Yeah. There is a neurons, they carry information from the like spinal cord towards the brain, right? They can exit like this, like this. In that way, there is a axon part is in the medulla region, that is light in color, that is we can call white matter. White matter. White matter. So, in the medullary region also there are some cell bodies, group of cell bodies are there in the medullary region, that is we can call nucleus. The group of cell bodies are there in the medulla region also, that is we can call nucleus. Nucleus. Okay? I hope, are you clear here? In the like cerebrum part, the forebrain, cerebrum part, which is the nucleus part, they enter into the cortex region, that is nucleus part is high dense in nature, that is the condition we look into different color, thick in color, that is gray matter. The axon part which is in the medullary location, that is light in color, we can call white matter. Up to here clear? I hope you clear. Okay, guys, what about spinal cord? Up to here, this is the forebrain, and spinal cord also central nervous system. Okay, what about spinal cord, white and gray matter? Okay, yes, if come to the spinal cord, this is the spinal cord, guys, spinal cord. Okay, spinal cord. The neurons, the nerves, which is neurons, the information carry from the peripheral nervous system to first instant they take information into the spinal cord. Spinal cord they can analyze and they can send the information into the this cerebrum, mean forebrain. Okay, they can send information into the brain from the spinal cord to brain. So, if the information carry information, this is peripheral nervous system, guys, side part. Peripheral nervous system. So, information carry from the spinal nerve, there is a, now they can analyze, there is a interneuron. Okay. Here the cell body is located in the mid part, guys. In the spinal cord, the cell bodies are located in the mid part. The axon part from the cortex region, they can enter into the information, they can carry into the, like in the brain. In this condition, the cell bodies are located in the mid part, right? They can give the signals through the axon, like this, like this, like this. So just look into this. The nucleus are there in the middle part. Nucleus are there in the middle part. So the dense nucleus created the gray matter. Very simple, right? Same as like opposite in nature. Okay? Yes. This is gray matter. In the spinal cord is the medulla gray matter, and the outer part is white matter in the spinal cord. Okay? Yeah. Up to here clear, I hope, guys. There is a cerebrum, this is the cerebrum, there is a cerebellum is there. Cerebellum is the part which is under brain stem, that is part, guys, this is the cerebellum. Cerebellum as also there is a medullary part and cortex region. Cerebellum is like cerebrum, that is cortex region is gray matter, cortex region is gray matter, and medullary region is white matter. Same like cerebellum is, cerebrum is same like brain and cerebellum as like as same. The spinal cord is opposite in nature in the matters of white and gray matter. Okay? I hope you guys clear about it. Thank you. Okay? Yeah, we are going to discuss about what is spinal nerve. What is spinal nerve? Okay? Yeah, we are going to discuss about spinal nerve. Okay? Spinal nerve. Spinal nerve, it is related to the peripheral nervous system and the spinal cord nerve, which is connected to the peripheral nervous system. Okay? Yes. If any like information, this is the spinal cord, this is the spinal cord, guys. Okay? Spinal cord, they can give information into the brain like this, give information into the brain. Any information first from the peripheral nervous system to reach spinal cord, any information. Okay? Yeah. If any mosquito bite, guys, okay, mosquito bite in your hand, mosquito bite. This is your hand like this. This is your hand, guys, assume it is your hand. Mosquito bite here, mosquito bite, okay, mosquito bite here. Okay. Our sense, if the mosquito lays on your hand, who give the signal into the brain? There is nerves are there in the peripheral nervous, hand is the peripheral nervous system, hand is the peripheral nervous system which is connected to the central nervous system, hand is the peripheral nervous system. If the mosquito lays on your hand, mosquito lays on your hand, what happened? The signals goes towards spinal cord first. Signals goes towards spinal cord. the bundle of axons in the peripheral nervous system we can call ganglion. Gangliated neurons, they carry information into the spinal cord. Spinal cord, there is a nerve which is analyzed and they can give the signals into the brain. Here brain. In the brain there is a nerve, they can analyze the relay center of the brain. Here there is a nerve we can call interneuron. They can analyze, that is mosquito. Okay. This peripheral nervous system always connected to the central nervous system. This peripheral nervous system, they can carry information first spinal cord. Spinal cord give the information into the brain. Brain can analyze the situation. That is the neuron we can call interneuron. In the cerebrum part, there is a interneurons, the relay center of the brain. They can analyze what is going on. They can give the signal into the back into the spinal cord again. Spinal cord give the signal into the peripheral nervous system. Spinal cord give the signal into the peripheral nervous system. In that way we can hit the mosquito. As peripheral nervous system when activated, the motor nervous system which activated on this peripheral nervous system, we can hit the mosquito. Okay, hit the mosquito. Up to here clear? We will going to detail on this first. Okay. Yes, guys, first if mosquito lays on this, the neurons, they can carry information into the spinal cord first. That is the neuron is the sensory neuron. The bundle of sensory neurons here called gangliated neurons. And there are types of neurons, guys. Multipolar neurons, pseudo-unipolar neurons, unipolar neurons and bipolar neurons. There are types of neurons are there. We will discuss later on. Okay. In the types of neurons, here from the peripheral nervous system, they can take information. This is the sensory nerves. They can give the sense into the spinal cord. That is the nerve which is type of nerve is pseudo-unipolar nerves, guys. Pseudo-unipolar neuron. Pseudo-unipolar neuron. The structure of pseudo-unipolar neuron, like, guys, this is the cell body of the neuron. This is this is dendrite of the neuron. This is axon part. Between the middle of the axon part, there is a cell body and telodendrite. This is the telodendrite. This is the cell body which is middle of the axon part called pseudo-unipolar neuron. Pseudo-unipolar neuron. This is the bundle of pseudo-unipolar neuron. They can give the signal into the spinal cord first. Spinal cord analyze the what happened, and there is a neuron which is relevant to this neuron. They can take the signals from here. They can carry towards the brain, guys. Brain, there is a interneuron which is the relay center in the brain. They can analyze, they can give back to the signals through the motor neuron. This is they can carry into the first spinal cord. Spinal cord give the information into the motor neuron, guys. This red pink color is the motor neuron. Motor neuron. So, just look into this. This is the pseudo unipolar neuron, which is sensory neurons. This is multipolar neuron, which is motor neuron. Multipolar neuron. From the spinal cord, it is multipolar neuron. Okay? Yeah. This is signals go through the peripheral nervous system towards the central nervous system. First, initially spinal cord. From the spinal cord, there is a information goes to the brain. Brain can analyze situation and they can give back to the signals through the motor spinal cord. Spinal cord give the signal into the motor nervous system. Okay? In that way, we can hit the mosquito. Skeletal muscle, voluntary muscles are acted through this motor nervous system. Okay? Here, there are another two concepts are there. Signals are from the peripheral nervous system to the spinal cord. Spinal cord as designed, there is a parts are there, anterior part and posterior part, like dorsal part and ventral part. This is the spinal cord. If the spinal cord cut, the structure of the spinal cord like this structure of spinal cord. Okay? Yes. Spinal cord, white matter and gray matter is there. Middle part is gray matter. Gray matter. This is gray matter, guys. This is gray matter. So, the information, this is anterior part, posterior part and dorsal and ventral part. This is like dorsal part, this is ventral part. Guys, this concept is most important for exam point of view. This concept is most important for exam point of view. So, information from the peripheral nervous system, they enter into the spinal cord. Up to here, it is okay. But the sensory neurons, they can give the information if to the spinal cord. Spinal cord, the information, they where the like dorsal part or ventral part taking part for the sensory neurons or motor neurons. It is different condition. We are going to look into that. Guys, this is the most important for exam point of view. Okay. This is the sensory neurons, guys. If they reach spinal cord, sensory neurons, if they reach spinal cord, always they enter into the dorsal part, guys. Always they enter into the dorsal part. From the dorsal part, mean from the back side, the information always go through the back side. From the back side into the brain. So, sensory neurons always carry towards the back side only. From the spinal cord, the sensory neurons always carry forward from the back side to the brain. This is the one point most important for NEET. Okay? Brain can analyze. the situation, and interneuron, they can give the signal into the ventral part. Okay. So, they can give the signal into the ventral part here, they can give the signal into the ventral part from the brain into the ventral part. From the ventral part, this is the motor neuron, guys, this is the sensory neuron. Okay. Yeah, motor neuron. This motor neuron give the signal into the, from the spinal cord, give the signal into the peripheral nervous system from the ventral part, from the front side. The signals always go towards brain is from the back side. The signals from the brain towards spinal cord always from the front side, mean ventral part. They can ask you the signal are always towards the brain is dorsal part, always coming from the brain to spinal cord is the ventral part. Either they can ask you like that, either they can ask you sensory neurons always carry forward from the back side and motor neurons always coming from the ventral part from the spinal cord. They can ask you any names. Okay. This is about the information from the peripheral nervous system which is connected to the spinal cord to connected to the brain, they can give you. These are the nerves we can call spinal nerves, guys, spinal nerves. These nerves are spinal nerve, spinal nerve, spinal nerve. Here you have to look into what is spinal nerve. What is spinal nerve? Spinal nerve is the mixed nerve. This is the concept most important. Spinal nerve is the mixed nerve. Mixed nerve. Spinal nerve is the mixed nerve. How it is mixed nerve? There is a sensory neuron which is pseudo unipolar neuron, which is pseudo unipolar neuron. Mixed nerve which is pseudo unipolar neuron mean, guys, the sensory neurons which is carry the sense into the spinal cord which is pseudo unipolar neuron, pseudo unipolar neuron. How it is mixed now? The motor neuron which is from the brain to spinal cord to peripheral nervous system which is multipolar neuron, multipolar neuron. So, pseudo unipolar is the sensory neuron which is carry from the peripheral nervous system to spinal cord. Multipolar neuron which is carry the information from the spinal cord to the peripheral nervous system called mixed nerve. Mixed nerve. So, all spinal nerves are the mixed nerves. All spinal nerves, all are spinal nerves are mixed nerves. All spinal nerves are the mixed nerves. This is about spinal nerve, guys. This is about spinal nerve. 1 minute. Yeah. Sensory neurons are the pseudo unipolar neurons. They can give the signals from the dorsal side of dorsal horn of the interneuron. They can give the signal into the dorsal part of the spinal cord and interneuron analyze. Okay. They can give the signal into the motor neuron which is ventral horn, which is ventral horn. This looking like a horn, right? In the spinal cord, it is gray matter horn, gray matter horn. Okay. This is ventral part which is dorsal part. Okay. dorsal part and ventral part. Always the ventral part is like motor neuron is connected, and the ventral part is always connected to the sensory neurons. Okay? Yeah, this is horn guys, do not confuse. It is about multipolar neuron. Motor neuron is the multipolar neuron, reach the target, finally reach the target. What happened in the spinal now? They can always pseudopolar neuron which is carry information towards the spinal cord. Okay? From the multipolar neuron which is motor neuron, they can towards the target, they can reach the signals. Okay? Just look into here the diagram guys. Look into here. This is the spinal cord. Spinal cord is the dorsal part. Okay, dorsal part. Okay. The spinal now, which is dorsal root and ventral root. Okay. Sensory neurons of the cell body. Guys, sensory neuron, group of sensory neuron cell bodies we can call ganglion, right? They can give the signal into the spinal cord. Dorsal part always sensory neuron. Okay? Yeah. And ventral root, ventral root always carry the motor neuron. Okay, this is spinal cord. Okay, this is dorsal horn, guys. This is ventral horn. There is a location which is interneuron is connected to the spinal cord. This is all about spinal nerve. Okay, yes. So next part. Okay, we will going to discuss the next part, which is what is reflect act, what is the polarity, what is the nerve conduction and impulses. Coming classes are most important guys. Thank you so much for it. This is the session is ended today. Thank you so much.